Well, hey everybody, I'm Bill with Live Simple, Live Free, and I have yet another project with our new house. Can you believe it? I still have a whole list of projects to do to make this house our house. So what I'm going to be doing today is moving the washer and dryer. Let me show you. So this is our kitchen. As you can see, we got a new table which we really love, but there's not a whole lot of room here. Several people in the last video said that we shouldn't have two china cabinets like that because we don't have the room. Both of those are heirloom cabinets. One is from Elizabeth's mother and one is from my grandmother. So we're not going to be getting rid of those anytime soon. So the problem here is the washer and dryer. Now, this is the only place it can go because this is a small house. There is no utility room. There is no basement. It's on a crawl space. So this is the only place that it can go here in the kitchen. Now originally most people would have just a low washer and a dryer, and it was designed, you can see the washer hookups right there, and then the dryer hookups are over there, so there'd be the dryer and the washer here side by side. We decided to get this stackable because it was the same one that we had in our tiny house and we really loved it. When we needed one, we decided to buy the same thing. That would save us some floor space, and we could push that right back into the corner, save all this room here. Here's the problem. After we bought it and got it in here, I realized there's the electrical panel. So I can't push the washer and dryer into that corner because then it would cover the electrical panel, and that's a heavy, difficult thing to move if I would have to access the circuit breakers. So what I'm going to have to do is take the washer and dryer and turn it this way and put it against the wall. It'll cover half of that window, but when I do that, it won't come out any further than the refrigerator does, and that'll give us that extra room so we can walk around the table and get to those back windows and stuff like that. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to move the hookups, which are there, over to here. And that can certainly be done, but it's not going to be fun because, like I said, we have a crawl space, and down at the far end where the door is, when you go in there, it's about 5 feet tall, so it's no problem with access. But then as you go further this way towards this end of the house, it gets smaller and smaller. By the time I get up to that corner where I have to do all the work, the crawl space is only probably just over a foot, which means I'm going to have to belly crawl for the last 15 feet to get back there to be able to do the work. And then doing the work when you can't, when you're on your belly and you can't move anymore, is really tight. I'm not particularly looking forward to that part of the job, but it has to be done. And it's either that or pay somebody a couple $100 to come in and do it. I'm not going to do that. So here we go. So here's our crawl space. And as you can see here, we got about 4.5 or 5 feet where I can stand up bent over pretty well. But I have to go all the way back there to the other end. By the time I get back there, it's only about a foot and a half. It's also dark back here. So from here on, I'll be on my belly. I think this is less than a foot here. There's the existing pipes. All right. So this is the end wall where it's sitting now. What I need to do is cut them off right there, put a 90-degree on there, send it all the way back to the wall back there, right there, where they'll then come up through the floor. So what I need to do right now is measure from here over to this joist right here, so I know how far over on the inside to drill my holes for the pipes. So I'm going to measure that, but I'm not going to put it on film because I don't have any way to hold the light and the camera and the measuring tape all at once. Okay, so I measured underneath from the outside edge there over to here, and that joist that runs here was at 46 inches, but I have to subtract 6 inches for the thickness of that wall because I measured from the end of the foundation. So I'm going to come in 40 inches and that's where that joist is. So I'm going to have to go on this side of the joist when I run the pipes down through there. Piece of cake. Okay, so I know that my joist is right here. This is by no means an exact science. This isn't even exact, but it's pretty close, within an inch. So I want to put the 1.5 inch drain here. I want to have it close to the joist, but I want to make sure I don't actually hit the joist when I drill the hole. So I'll put that about here. And then I'm going to put my 2 supply pipes over here. Once again, it doesn't really matter. It's not an exact thing.
Are you on the phone?
What?
Are you on the phone?
I'm on the phone, no.
I hung my swimming suit over the shower curtain, and I noticed that one of the legs was kind of dripping, so I just grabbed a hold of it and reached around into the actual shower, into the tub, and squeezed it really hard.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the cat shot out of there like a rocket. Oh, it's so funny.
Well, it seems that this tile is no longer sticking, but it will be behind and underneath of the washer, so it doesn't really matter. Just place it back in there again. Now for the supply line, I'm using this PEX flexible pipe. Doesn't need nearly as many fittings. Of course it's going straight down and it hits there. So I'm going to have to go underneath and grab the ends and bend them and pull them forward. But that way I don't have to put an elbow right underneath the floor right there. Yeah, okay. I just realized I put them in this in wrong. You always want the cold on the right. Let's try that again. Now I need to put the plumbing valves here on the wall to hook up the washer. Now they do make units that go inside the wall for the plumbing connections, and they really look much better than this is going to, but they're very easy to install in new construction. But in a retrofit like this, you can still do it, but it's a real pain. And this is going to be behind the washer. You won't even see it anyway, so this is a much easier way to do it. Now this right here, let me get this a little closer. This right here is called a drop ear elbow. It's got these little things here so that you can screw it to the wall. And I'm using a PEX connection. Closer yet. I'm using PEX pipe and a connection here. Now there are numerous different ways to make this kind of a connection. The cheapest way by far is to use this little crimping ring, and I'll show you how that works. In order to use this, you have to have this crimping tool, which costs about, I don't know, maybe 80 bucks. And you got to have one for each size that you're going to use. This is a 1/2 inch, and I also have a 3/4 inch. If you're going to be doing a lot of this kind of plumbing, this is definitely by far the cheapest way to go, to invest in one of these. Because these little rings come in bags of 50 for a few bucks, so this is only a couple of pennies for this. If you're only doing a little bit and you don't want to invest in this, then you can buy several different kinds of connectors that look like this, that just slide on to the pipe and grab it, and they work pretty well. But these cost about $3 or $3.50 a piece. If you're going to do very much plumbing, this can run the cost up really fast to the point where it might be better to buy one of these. So the way I use this, slide the ring on first, and then this has got barbs on it. Slide that in there. Just put this crimper on the ring. Make sure the ring's placed in the right place. And then, there you go. It's done. I've never had one of these leak. So fast and easy. Consider that compared to soldering an elbow on with copper. I like this so much better. Also with copper pipe, if it freezes, it'll only expand about 5% before it'll burst. I don't know what the actual percentage is on these, but I've had several of these PEX pipes freeze, and I've never had one burst on me. So this is all I ever use now is the PEX. And that allows me to make a connection so much faster than soldering. And then you can bend it all around, so you don't have to run elbows or fittings at all, just at the connections, not through the wall and all that. So much faster and easier to use. I really love it. The only problem with this is that it takes a lot of space. When you open it up, you got to have a lot of room. So if you're working underneath of a sink or some tight spot, you can't use this. I believe they do make a smaller one that'll fit into smaller places, but I don't have one. So what I do if I'm working in a tight spot where I can't fit that in there, then I'll buy, one of these slide-on pieces, an elbow or whatever I need to be able to get under there. And it works well. Like I said, these are just a lot more expensive. So now I have a couple of these valves. This is called a boiler drain valve, just to stick in there. Teflon tape. Pliers are too small. I've got larger plumbing pliers somewhere. Still haven't gotten everything completely unpacked. I don't know where my larger ones are. All right, good to go. Shut the valve so the water doesn't come on when I make the connections underneath. For some reason, the last video clip and this one came out without any audio, and I don't really know why. But right here I was explaining that this is where the joist is underneath of the floor, so I need to go over to the left to make sure that I don't hit the joist when I drill the hole for the 2-inch drain pipe that's going to come up through the hole. Alright, so I got that 2-inch hole drilled, and the 1.5-inch pipe fits very nicely inside of there. So I've got all the plumbing done up here. Unfortunately, that's the easy part. Now I'm going to have to crawl down into the crawl space in that tiny little space and make the connections underneath. All right, so I got to go under there again, but this time I got a real light instead of that flashlight, so I can really see what I'm doing. Got all my fittings in here. Okay, so I'm going to have to cut off this drain pipe right here, put an elbow on it, and connect it to that pipe way down there where it's coming down through the floor. This is primer. And this is the glue. Yeah, there we go. This is not pretty. There's purple primer all over everything, but I'm laying flat on my back and I can hardly even move under here. I got to put a couple of these joints together at the same time to make sure I get the right angles on them, because this glue hardens pretty quickly, and if one of the angles is wrong, the whole thing will not fit together. There we go. Now this clean out fits very nicely right around this pipe. Yeah, man, that'll work. Now I got to crawl down to the other end to get the next measurement. All right, drain is done. This is the old drain. Cut it off and attached it right there. Got a clean out right here. That's good to go. All right, now I gotta change over the supply lines. This is the cold water. I got the water turned off, so there's no pressure in here, but there is still water in here, so some of it will probably drain out after I cut this through. Yeah, there comes the water. Fortunately, I remembered to bring a can to catch it in, or else it would be all over the ground and turn into mud that I'd be crawling through. Now this is the cold, so I use the blue. And this is kind of like this is a special tool to cut the PEX, but it's just kind of like a pair of scissors. Cut right through it. And this is the fitting that you just press on, and it fits on both sides. just press it on. The cool thing about this is you can do it even if there's water running. That's all there is to it. If you're going to solder or glue, you have to wait until the water stops running, and you have to make sure it's completely dry. This is nice that it just presses right on there like that. All right, now I got to do the other one. So here's the hot water. There we go. It's amazing to me the way it just slides on and grabs on, and I'm done. Just like that. So now, all I have to do is see if I can get out of here. So now let's see if it actually works. Perfect. Looks good to me. Let's see what Elizabeth thinks.
Oh, this is awesome. Doesn't it work?
Yep, it really does.
Because look here, I've got room for the cat box. I can reach through here and push this up and down if I need to. I come with my laundry to here, and then we got plenty of room here to put hang the vacuum cleaner, open this doodly.
Yep.
Barry could probably even do the work without a problem.
I still need to remove the old plumbing right there.
Yeah, because it'll kind of be dangerous.
Yeah, but other than that, I think it's going to work fine.
And all this table has to do is come out just a little bit, and we can seat 7 people all the way around it.
Right. So, tell everybody what you think.
Oh! Awesome. Yeah, this is gonna work. Yeah. I didn't realize that thing hangs crooked.
I don't know. Ever since I took it out of the box, first time I pulled it down, it hangs crooked like that, and I can't make it straighten out.
Huh, well, it's not the end of the world. I love having this window like here and big. And these can, that'll be taken off. I think this is going to give enough room. Like I said, I can put the cat box there. I can get that up and down. I can get around this table to do laundry. And I can get over here to get what I need to.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thrilled to death, sweetheart. That's great. Look at this, Dad. Oh, that's what he's been working on so
Move
hard.
the dishwasher around there so there's more room. And
The washing machine.
I mean,
Yeah.
the washing machine. So there's more room. We push the table back, and now we can get in all the way around.
And then if we have more people, we can bring it out, and we should have plenty of room. It gives me a rectangle here,
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I heard a lot of happy voices out here.
Yeah. Yes, it's running.
He wanted to get my reaction. So if you
Well,
want
there-
to say hello, they're right there.
Well, there you go, everybody. Another project checked off the list.
Yep.
She apparently likes it.
Yes, I'm thrilled. This is
So-
going to be so useful.
Now I don't know which chair to sit in.
Yeah. Your chair hasn't changed.
Oh, okay.
So, all right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Live simple, live free. You be blessed.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Ooh, what?